Australians love a grand final. It means something. It gets the nerves pumping and the blood boiling. Our footy codes live for one day, the grand final. In racing, there are many parallels. In spring, the grand final happens at Flemington. In autumn, it's Sydney's Royal Randwick. For everyone involved, this is their grand final. From the florists to the track managers, the chefs to the milliners. Today is the culmination of a long season, all timed for this one day, this grand final. And for those magnificent thoroughbreds that give meaning to the party, they too have been trained to the second. There is sense to this early morning madness. In the dark of the track work, instructions are barked by trainers and followed by jockeys.
Go Richard, lead him up 6-2, right? Slide him
You and Adrian back on the big grass, you go 4 home, 2 best come away, right?
That's how this chain of command works. Furlongs are timed and analysed. And when the sun has finally risen, the thoroughbred is treated, swum, and fed. Equine athletes on their way to the grand final. Today, they parade in all their gleaming glory, at the peak of their fitness and ability, to be ridden by men and women who starve, sweat, and sacrifice for a shot at their own glory on this day, the grand final. Sydney's stunning harbour and its racing home, Royal Randwick, become the showpiece of the thoroughbred world. This is the championships, the grand finals of thoroughbred racing.
And another stunning day in Sydney, as we had last week for day 1 of the championships, as we roll into day 2, with the feature being the Longines Queen Elizabeth. It's the richest weight for age race in Australia at $4 million plus the trophies. And all up, can you believe it, $10.8 million, including the trophies, with the 4 Group 1s. Royal Randwick looks great. Hugh Bowman, well, he's already started with the winner today, but he could get to $20 million in prize money won this season. No jockey's ever done that. He's on about $14.5 million. He's been sweeping the borders, Hughie, and that's him on the Mighty Winx last week. More about her later. And what about for Ollie? He's had a little bit of a drought, to be honest, in Sydney, but if he wins a Group 1 today, and he's hitched his ride with Kiramara a bit today, with Ascadelia and Jamaica, also with Chris Lees, with Lucia Valentina, he'll join Roy Higgins on 108 Group 1 wins. He maybe go past him. George Moore's the only jockey to have won more than that on 119. So it's real racing royalty with Ollie today. Hello, welcome to Royal Randwick. It feels royal, it really does. It is a championship day, a grand final day, as we said. Wonderful horses, and I'm with Simon and Simon. And do you know what? Of all those Group 1 races, I love an Oaks, and we've got a good one today.
We certainly have. Ollie will have to have all these special abilities on board Jamaica. Her last 3 races have been at Group 1 level. She has drawn barrier 12, 14 and 12. Today in the Oaks, she will jump from barrier 14. He'll need all these special qualities, so will she. But I think today we will crown her the best 1.5 mile filly in the country.
And Sim, the Kiwis are here to take it away from Jamaica too. Some wonderful 3-year-old fillies. They've already taken out the 3-year-old Derby with Tavago. The Coolmore Legacy, the Group 1 for fillies and mares. It's as tough as Ronda Rousey to pick the winner in that, but we'll have a crack. And strap yourself into the recliner, folks, for the Sydney Cup. It's a test of 3,200 metres, and I'm leaning towards Grand Marshal. I wonder why. But the race for me today is the Queen Elizabeth. Weight for age racing at its best. And we've got the best horses there, but will Preferment, boys, continue his dominance, or will Criterion bow out as a back-to-back winner of the race and become a daddy and go to stud?
Simon won at Queen Elizabeth. No wonder he's keen on it. I can remember. It was a brilliant ride, as always. So here's the program today. A total of 21 scratchings, but one of those occurred in the first today. A lot of the emergencies are out, and not too many key scratchings. I guess our Ivanhoe was the biggest one during the week. We get towards the Group 1s with the James Bogue, Australian Oaks, and then we get to the Swept Sydney Cup, the Coolmore Legacy Stakes, the Longines Queen Elizabeth, the Jewel in the Crown today, and we finish up with the Census Sapphire Stakes. Race 1 run today, the Fernhill. This is over 1,600, a listed race, 150,000 for the 2-year-olds James Cummings, Hugh Bowman combined for Guru Stud with Prized Icon. He has been just so consistent, hasn't he?
His 4 runs this time in have been super without winning, but today he controlled the speed. Look at the big chest on this guy. Got through to going well. They raced on the inside of the track, and that's a mile win at listed level now for the son of More Than Ready. James Cummings, the trainer, and Hugh Bowman. Formidable partnership, these two. Watch them grow throughout the next couple of years.
He was a drifter, so he got out to reasonable odds. Crown him and Lescetty Spirit, and the first 4 was $661.60. So we get to the absolute crown and the jewel on the first day of the championships, and it's the Doncaster Mile and the people's horse, and that's what she is at the moment, Winks. She's won 6 out of 6 this season. She's going for her 9th consecutive win. She's the Australian champion.
We dream all our life to have horses like Winks. I think we've got to remember where we have got them, enjoy it without getting too worked up.
We seem to have settled on $1.80 now here for Winks. It's a record hold for us. We haven't held this much on a horse before.
It's only been 2 4-year-old bears since World War II to win it. The last was Private Steer with 53 kilos. She's got 56 and a half.
So here we go. Darren Flindell for the prize of them all, the Star Doncaster Mile on the first day of the championships. Winks carrying a nation on her back.
Here we go. Stand by. Racing in the Doncaster, and Bow Creek missed the start. Now Winks is well back in the field as they settle down to the first turn. Winks is back, 4th last past the 800 metres from Rudy, he or she, at last of all.
Navigator pass, and wasn't she unbelievable?
We'll enjoy today and see what happens from here.
And for you to hear a reaction to a horse that you trained, I mean, you love racing. This is remarkable.
Doesn't get any better.
Well done. Thanks.
It's all about Winks, Waller and Bowman. Something to say. Well, the Cox Plate set her up, but that was her career-defining race, wasn't it?
Champions always get up off the mat, and that's exactly what she did in the Doncaster last. She was history at the 600-metre mark. Huey Bowman said it after the race. She's never travelled like that for me in the race. She just wasn't handling it. And to pick herself up, weave through the field, get tightened and squeezed at the 400, pick herself up again, and then go whooshka. We saw something very special, Bruce.
And Chris Waller can do plenty of things, but he said before to Richo, he said, let's enjoy it and control our emotions as we can, and even he couldn't at the end. I mean, we saw that, didn't we? And, of course, Simon, her half-brother by Schnitzel, this week has sold for $2.3 million. Now, you were at the English sales, you had a good look at the colt. Gay Waterhouse actually was the successful bidder in the end, and it was very exciting stuff, wasn't it?
2.3 million. He was the top price colt at the sale, and as he should be. I mean, people ask, you know, is that a good price for a horse like this? And he was a nice enough individual. Yes, it is, because it's all about supply and demand. You only supply one out of Winx's mum every year. So that's how it happens. And if that horse is popular enough, it can be the top horse in the sale, and that's exactly how it happened.
A full story on that coming up later, and we will talk to Gay. So what a story that turned out to be. And the Freedman name is one of the most famous in Australian racing. Together they were known as Freedman Brothers Incorporated, or FBI for short. Michael Freedman carved a successful training career in Singapore, but he's now returned and he's set up shop at Rosehill Gardens. Jason Richardson has that story.
Michael Freedman, welcome back to Australia.
Thank you, Richo. Good to be back.
It's so many things I want to talk to you about your amazing journey, but let's go to the present day. You've just arrived back in Sydney, and I can imagine that must have been a really tough choice to leave Singapore.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we'd been there for 8 years, and it had been a successful 8 years, and really enjoyable. It was good for the family and business-wise, but yeah, we got to the stage where probably halfway through last year I started to really think long and hard about how much longer we wanted to be there.
Freedman Brothers, FBI as it was known. I mean, my brother and I couldn't work together. We'd be punching on the whole time. How did four brothers get together and work together?
Oh, it had its moments.
Tell us some good ones.
I won't go into details, but, you know, look, I'd be lying if I said we didn't have... Of course, we had times when we disagreed on things, and, sometimes it got pretty heated. Occasionally got physical.
Yeah? Really?
A little bit, yeah.
So you would always go for Richard if it got physical, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
you wouldn't want to take on Anthony.
Oh, no, actually, the other way around.
Oh, really? Why Rosehill and not Randwick?
I think the facilities there are second to none. The stabling's fantastic. The amount of use you get of the tracks that are available out there are terrific. I think, by virtue of the fact that the biggest stable in Australia is based there probably speaks volumes for Rosehill as a training centre. The horses have all settled in well, and I'm certainly enjoying training there. I think one thing that I have learned is that horses are a lot more resilient with what they're able to cope with than perhaps we give them credit for.
Right, okay.
And I think, I would certainly bring some of that Asian experience to training here as well, and perhaps taking a slightly different approach now than perhaps what I would have had I not gone and trained in Asia.
Okay, so Michael Freedman Racing arrives in Sydney. How many boxes have you got? And then you've got to translate the success in Singapore, the famous name, to owners. That's what we hear at the yearling sale, trying to find new horses and new owners.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got 32 boxes at Rosehill, which is a nice number to start with. I think at the moment I've got about 15 unraced 2-year-olds in training. We're probably about 3 or 4 weeks from having our first runners. And we've got a nice bunch of yearlings coming through for next season. I've been really overwhelmed with the level of support from, people that have seen me come back and say, OK, I'm going to give you a horse to...
Get to the Arrowfield Sprint. Huey Bowman's won this race 5 times, including last year for Chris Waller. They team up with Japanese. We're speaking of jockeys, Huey flying, but you've got a bit of news, Richo. What's happening?
Gee, it's a tough caper, isn't it, being a jockey? Brett Preble going for home in the Provincial Championship on Powerline. And as we have a look at the vision, he led throughout, and then he kicked for home. He asked his horse for every possible effort. And in the cut and thrust driving towards the line, he has struck his horse 1 more times than allowed before the 100-metre mark. And the stewards have just fined him $600 as a result. Simon Marshall will be able to talk about that. $160 for a ride. That's without the prize money. So Brett Preble, if he doesn't earn any prize money today, is going to be riding for free.
Well, thanks, Richo, for that. They're cracking down on the use of the whip. It's mighty hard on big days and big occasions when there's so much prize money up for grabs in the heat of the moment to try and count how many times you strike a horse with the whip. This is the difficulty that the jockeys are proposing to all the officials, and in particular the stewards. So stay tuned on that one. It's going to get a heated discussion, that, with jockeys and stewards.
So Crown Bet, market mover for the Arrowfield Sprint, Matty?
Seems as though James Jordan has some fans, Bruce. They reckon he's ready to strike. Stellar Collision, who he tipped at 20 to 1, is our market mover, including one punter, 10,000 at the 20s.
OK, well, we're backing him all the way as well, so let's hope for Darren Weir's sake that Stellar Collision can get home. I think it's Weir's only runner for the day, probably is. Mark Zara to ride. So, horse number 8. Now, what about Richo and the two Simons?
I'm sticking with the class here, Japanisme, and I like the way he presented in the mounting yard. He's held his condition well.
I always think you're right.
And Jasoni for Jason. I tell you what,
wait till the next race. Hey,
I just think he's a class above.
I've got to say, I like the way King Like presented. He got it wrong at Moonee Valley, and at those odds, you go back to his start here at Randwick behind English, who ran 3rd in the Galaxy, I think it was. Yeah, the Galaxy Group 1. That's very good odds for King Like if he's back to somewhere near his best, and he looked like it in the yard.
Well, this can be a stallion-making race. It has all the potential for it. Could a filly upset them? Here's Darren Flindell for the Arrowfield.
To the outside draw. And we're all set now. Ready for the Arrowfield. Japanisme is the favourite. And they're off and racing. And Gasoni from the outside draws, jumped about midfield. Petit Falou won the start. Takedown and King Like are showing plenty of speed, and Spill the Beans is mustering to join them. Bassett Park's just behind from Egyptian Symbol. Then came further back to Hellbent on the rails. Stellar Collision deeper out from Spieth, counter-attack. McDonald's gone back to second last on Gasoni, and 3 lengths away to Lake Geneva. King Like takes up the running from Takedown, and Petit Falou caught 3 deep on the outside at Japanisme and Spill the Beans. A length and a half further back to Bassett around Egyptian Symbol. Counter-attack deeper out from Hellbent. Then Stellar Collision from Spieth. Gasoni's back towards the inside running rail. One off it as they turn. King Like in front from Takedown. Japanisme. Bowman rides very confidently from Egyptian Symbol. Spill the Beans. Wider out Petit Falou. And then Hellbent making ground on the rails. Japanisme being called upon now. It goes up to join King Like. Counter-attacks running on. Gasoni's looking for the run behind them. Japanisme just in front from counter-attack. Japanisme from counter-attack. Japanisme's clinging on. Oh, he switched legs right on the post. I think he got him, Japanisme, but counter-attack took advantage and lunged. King Like possibly 3rd from Takedown, and poor Gasoni couldn't get out of a pocket. Then Egyptian Symbol, Spill the Beans, Spieth, Lake Geneva, Stellar Collision, Bassett, Hellbent, Petit Falou's covered ground and finished last. It's a photo finish.
That's a brilliant call by Darren Flindell, and he's been criticised a bit over the last year or so, I think unfairly. He just summed that up so perfectly. That horse did change leads, counter-attack, did try to take advantage. Jasoni couldn't get out of a pocket, and we're waiting for the photo finish, and he has won. It's Chris Waller, 1st and 2nd, and it's Huey Bowman yet again.
Huey Lewis in the news. We love him, don't we? I'll tell you what, let's wait to the head-on. Let's have a look at the head-on. There's a bit of movement here. Japanese
there could be a pro.
Takedown, King Like, all came together. And then counter-attack on the outside, shifts in. Look at the all-blue behind the pink. Look at Jasoni trying to get out. She's got nowhere to go. Do these horses come together on the line? The pink and the black on the outside of Japanisme. Huey Bowman just pulls that left rein outwards. Counter-attack doesn't go near him. All clear. Jasoni very stiff back in behind the filly. Let's have a look at a clear vision right here, Simon O'Donnell. Nicely bunched. King Like leads.
I think Huey got a bit of a shock here. He travelled into the race as if he was the winner. I thought he was even travelling better than Jasoni in the blue behind him. Counter-attack just on the outside. Takedown, a good effort. He really stuck to his task. When Huey asked Japanisme to go, there wasn't a hell of a lot there. I think he thought he was just going to put a length and a half on them and hold them for the rest of the race. But he had to dig deep, both horse and jockey. Good effort from the 2nd and 3rd horse. And, of course, look at the filly there in the blue. Just didn't get a crack.
And when horses change stride like that, they're out of petrol, they're out of tickets, so they're looking to just change legs, like a dog or a cat would when they're turning, just to try and find some reserved energies from somewhere. Look at him try hard. He's a class horse, this guy. He's a Group 1 winner. He's had 4 cracks at Group 1 level. He's won 1 and been 3rd twice. Today gets his Group 2.
Takes his prize money to over $1 million. They are some of the most famous colours in Australian racing. And the Inghams, Deb Capitas now the daughter part of this. As we see Chris Waller, the Inghams a big part of Chris Waller's life, Richo, that's for sure.
Yeah, they certainly have. The Ingham family, just Bruce McAvaney saying what a close association we have with the Ingham family since you started another Group win there.
Yeah, they've been very special to me. They came to me before I had a Group 1 winner, so And this horse was a Group 1 winner for them back in the spring, and he's been unlucky not to have won another one since. Last start in particular, the William Reid, it was close to his best run. So he came into the race with good form, and he's got the job done. Narrowly, at least it was a stablemate fighting him.
That's right, Jeff and Mary Grimish with their horse charging at him as well. So you're in a conflicted spot there as the trainer.
Yeah, certainly were, and they've been great supporters too. So I can remember back, although where Red Tracer narrowly beat Catkins in the mire. So it goes in roundabouts, and they won all.
Fantastic for Japanismi to win this race. You touched on it. He certainly deserved that. What's next for him?
He's a great sprinter, so they're hard to come by, believe it or not. And well, we thought about taking him overseas, but I think it's a year premature. Get another Group 1 or 2 next to his name, and then he can go for those sprint races later on. So obviously the family will decide that, but he'll be in the Group 1 sprints in the spring.
Terrific win, well done.
Thanks.
Speaking about going overseas, of course, the father of this horse is into the Australian Racing Hall of Fame because of what he did. Choisir, he went overseas and won the King's Stand and the Golden Jubilee. He was a remarkable chestnut horse. He's been a very good sire, hasn't he? And this is one of his best horses.
Trained by Paul Perry, who trained also Fastnet Rock. Outstanding trainer, great team. And this is what it's all about for the owners, coming back in a huge crowd on the right of screen after your horse winning. That's what it's all about. You spend the money to buy them at yearling sales, as they've had just recently. Now they get the cash back and walk down that wonderful lane.
Well, what a connection of, Deb Capitas, the owner, Huey Bowman, Chris Waller, and I think of the mighty Mare Winks, and she's been the show stealer so far in these championships. The win last week in the Doncaster took her to greatness status. This week at the English Sales, the next breed of chance went under the hammer, including a half-brother to Winks. So let's have a little tease for that story.
He posed in front of our cameras as though, I know my sister's a superstar, you're just waiting to see me.
Yeah, like it'd be terrible to be come up and through the family and having Winks as your eldest sister.
There are $1 million for him, $1 million for him, $1 million down everyone. Come on, he's a half to wait. 1.1.2.
Over budget? I don't think so. If he went and became the racehorse we believe he will, you can't buy him. So it's better to go here and start at the bottom and get him, at the basement, so we can have the fun of racing him.